Welcome to the Hobart operator training video for the FP150, FP250, and FP350 food processors. This video is a supplement to the instruction manual that is available for your machine. The models FP150, FP250, and FP350 food processors are designed and built by the industry leader in food machines, Hobart. These machines can process vegetables, fruit, bread, cheese, and nuts. The sleek, angled design allows food to be loaded easily into either a narrow feed tube or a full-sized hopper. Warning: the electrical cord on this machine is equipped with a grounding-type plug, which must be connected to a properly grounded receptacle. If the receptacle is not the proper grounding type, contact an electrician. Do not remove the grounding prong from the plug. To ready the machine for operation, first install the pusher plate. The pusher plate and handle must be at the 10 o'clock position while looking down at the feed hopper before it can be fully inserted into the hole. Push the pusher plate shaft all the way to the bottom. Check the following safety interlocks before installing the cutting tool or ejector plate. First, press the on button. Lift the pusher plate with the pusher plate handle and move the plate to the left. Make sure the food processor stops running. Move the pusher plate to the right and lower the pusher plate. With the feed hopper in the operating position, make sure the food processor starts. Make sure the food processor does not turn on when the pusher plate is lowered and the feed hopper is removed. If the food processor fails any of these tests, contact your Hobart service office. To install the cutting tool, first turn off the machine. Then lift the pusher plate handle and move it to the left, away from the feed hopper. Turn the locking knob counterclockwise to unlock the feed hopper. Raise the feed hopper. Center the ejector plate on the shaft, and with the slots in the ejector plate aligned with the pins in the coupling, push the ejector plate down to the bottom of the shaft and onto its coupling. Turn counterclockwise to lock. If dicing or chopping, insert a dicing grid and turn it until the holding pin fits into the notch. Avoid contact with the sharp knife on the cutting tool. Put the desired cutting tool on the shaft and turn until it falls onto its coupling. There are a wide variety of cutting and dicing options which are outlined in your manual. Put the decoring screw on the shaft. Turn it counterclockwise to tighten. Note: the decoring screw uses left-handed threads. Move the feed hopper back into position. Turn the locking knob clockwise to lock the feed hopper in place. To remove the cutting tool, lift the pusher plate handle and move it to the left, away from the feed hopper. Turn the locking knob counterclockwise to unlock the feed hopper. Raise the feed hopper. Remove the decoring screw by turning it clockwise with the provided wrench. Remove the cutting tool, dicing grid if used, and ejector plate from the food processor. Warning: rotating knives inside. Always use pusher plate. Keep hands out. Do not put meat, dough, or frozen foods in the food processor. Remove all hard parts that can damage the cutting tool blades, such as apple and pineapple stems, mango pits, and fibrous cores. The pusher plate presses food items against the cutting tool. It is controlled by a large pusher plate handle that wraps around the feed hopper. The food processor can be started by pressing the green on button and stopped by pressing the red off button. The on button needs to be pressed only if the off button has been pressed or after connecting the electrical power cord. The food processor restarts automatically when the pusher plate is centered over the feed hopper and lowered. It stops automatically when the pusher plate is raised and moved to the left of the feed hopper or when the feed hopper itself is raised. The pusher plate must be turned to the left to load food into the feed hopper. Be sure to press the off button and unplug the food processor power cord before cleaning or changing the cutting tool. The full-size feed hopper processes large round items such as loaves of bread, heads of lettuce, pineapples, honeydew, and cabbage. In addition, small round items such as tomatoes, potatoes, and beets can be stacked against an inner support wall inside the hopper. To operate the feed hopper, raise the pusher plate and move it to the left. Put the produce into the feed hopper. Press the green on button. The food processor will start when the pusher plate enters the feed hopper. Press down on the pusher plate handle with light pressure. Note, best product quality is achieved when only light pressure is used to keep the product in contact with the cutting tool. The feed tube processes long and thin items such as carrots, cucumbers, celery, and scallions. It can also be loaded with small odd-shaped items such as mushrooms, shallots, and garlic cloves. The feed tube pusher sits in the feed tube when not in use, doubling as a cover. Removing the feed tube pusher does not stop the food processor from running. To operate the feed tube, position the pusher plate over the feed hopper and lower it to the bottom. Turn the feed tube pusher to unlatch it. Remove the pusher. Put the food item into the feed tube. Press the on button. Use the feed tube pusher to press down on the product with light pressure. Warning: turn the machine off and unplug the electrical cord before cleaning. Notice: do not clean stainless steel with bleach-containing cleansers, like automatic dishwashing detergent. Bleach can corrode stainless steel. Do not clean the aluminum parts with high alkaline detergents, like automatic dishwashing detergent or with hot water. Black aluminum oxide can form. Removable parts should be hand-washed in a 3-part sink and should not be put into the dishwasher, with the exception of cutting tools and the decoring screw. Do not spray the food processor with a spray bottle or hose. Do not scrape with metal objects that can scratch the metal surface. Immediately after use, removable parts must be cleaned with warm water and soap. First, remove the feed tube pusher. Lift the pusher plate and move it to the left. Lift arm and remove. Turn the locking knob counterclockwise to unlock the feed hopper. Raise the feed hopper and slide it off its hinge pins. Unthread the decoring screw clockwise with the wrench and remove it. Remove the cutting tool and, if used, the dicing grid. Use the brush to push remaining food through the dicing grid. Remove the food waste from the discharge chute and cutting chamber. Use a clean cloth with warm soapy water to wipe the cutting tool chamber, discharge chute, and motor housing. Use caution to prevent liquid from entering the pusher plate mounting hole. Removable parts must be cleaned with warm water and soap. Thoroughly rinse and dry with a soft, clean cloth. Wipe the cutting tool blades dry with a clean cloth and put the cutting tool on the wall racks. Put the decoring screw on the shaft and turn it counterclockwise. Hand tighten only for storage. Put the feed hopper on its hinge pins and lower it into the operating position. Return the pusher plate and feed tube pusher to their operating positions. It is important to perform a few weekly checks to maintain your machine. With the power cord connected to the outlet, test the safety interlock switches. The rest of the checks must be performed with the power cord unplugged from the outlet. Warning: turn the machine off and unplug the electrical cord before doing any maintenance. Inspect the power cord and make sure it is in good shape. Look for cuts, fraying, or cracking. Make sure the pusher plate shaft moves freely. If it does not, clean and dry it and lubricate it with several drops of mineral oil. Make sure the cutting tool blades are sharp. If not, have them sharpened or the cutting tool replaced. A troubleshooting guide is available in the operator manual. If the machine develops any problems, contact your Hobart service office. This has been the operator training video for your Hobart FP150, FP250, and FP350 food processor.